Hello everyone and welcome to this week's Facebook Live. I'm going to share another kit with you tonight because this one's a really great one. Very pretty Christmas cards. It is called Calm and Bright. This kit does cost $46. I did check on the website just before going live. Unfortunately, it's not available, but as soon as it is, I'm going to let you know. It's just out of stock for the time being. One or two very, very quick reminders. I have announced today a new class. This is featuring the Christmas Tags and More Designer Series paper. It is a class you do from home. Everything is sent to you. There's some extra products you will need, but you may have some of those products already in your kit at home. So not necessary to purchase anything extra for this class. So it's featuring, as I mentioned, Christmas Tags and More Designer Series paper. More information on my Facebook page that I shared earlier today. Second thing, I have a giveaway, okay? Because we're coming into Christmas, it's a busy time of year. Kits are a great option for crafting for Christmas and also to use them as gifts. So for every kit that you purchase during November, you'll receive an entry into the giveaway to win the Nutcracker Tags kit. Again, all the information's on my Facebook page. And finally, it is the absolute last chance to register for one of the Christmas card buffets, which is happening Friday night and this Saturday. Please message me straight away if you're interested in attending one of those classes. Okay, I am going to have I've got my laptop actually sitting next to me, just so that I can see if there's any comments, because I haven't been able to see the comments lately. Let me just get this up and moving. Okay. All right, so I've got this sound off. So hopefully with my laptop sitting next to me, I'm actually going to be able to see what is going on. Okay. In theory, right, this is the kit. As I mentioned, it is called Calm and Bright. So this is a little bit weird actually watching this on Facebook because there's a few seconds lag, but that is okay. All right, so this kit, you get, of course, all the products that you need to make 3 different card designs. And you can see there is some twine, there's some adhesives, plus all the pieces that we need. There is a really cute stamp set. Let me just grab the box with some sentiments in it. So there is From Our House to Yours, All is Calm and Bright, there's Merry Christmas, Sending Joy, and a couple of other images to be used on these cards as well. And you get your stamping block and the Lost Lagoon ink spot. Now, as for previous kits that I've shared that have the ink spots, I'm not going to be using that because that way I can give it away. I'm going to be using my full-size ink pad. And the same with the block in here, I'm going to be using that as a giveaway as well, because they are a really good size block. That you can use for your stamping projects. Okay, let's open this packet up and take a look and just see what else is in here. All right, let me just get rid of my rubbish. Okay. So this is, I guess, definitely an unboxing, isn't it? Okay, here we go. Let me share with you the little printout that you get in the box for the stamp set. So it's a really nice font, very serviceable. The Merry Christmas, Sending Joy. You're going to be able to use those on other projects as well. There is the instruction sheet, of course, which has includes the pieces you need for each card, tells you what you need to be stamping as well. So, and also what what adhesives to use. So that is that. Hopefully the internet connection's been a little bit slow today. Hopefully it will be working okay. All right, so in here I've got some little glue dots, some mini dimensionals, and some really pretty embellishments in the packet. There is also some white baker's twine and the stamping block. And then we've got various pieces. And of course, with our kits, everything is pre-cut, pre-scored. It's all ready to go. So some different pieces for the cards. Some envelopes that have some really pretty printed design on the inside. Okay, what do we got here? Okay, so we've got some card bases, which have been pre-cut, pre-scored, and they've actually been folded as well because we've just got these cards opening a different way, so they wouldn't fit in the kit otherwise. Plus there is another, what is there, about six card bases. So this card kit in total will make 9 cards. So if you're watching and I haven't seen your comment pop up, I'm hoping that will on my laptop. If not, and I don't see it, thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoy tonight's Facebook Live. So these are some die cuts. So there's some various die cuts, tags to stamp on. Okay, some more. These are sort of just laser cut tags. And they've just given us a piece of tissue paper in between just to show, I guess, stop them from scratching because they've got that really nice pearl sort of finish. Let me hold these up and can you see that bit of shine? So that's really pretty. And these ones might have the shimmer as well. They don't, but they've just given us tissue paper just to keep it all in check. Okay. So let's make a start on the first card. Okay, so we'll need to grab one of the bases. I always get in a mess when I'm making these cards. This cardstock is textured, so the texture needs to be on the outside. So we've got the card base. We've also got one of these little card pieces, and it does have some really pretty detail around the edge. Okay, so we need our tags. So I'll grab one of those, and I'll be making each of the 3 cards tonight. Like I normally do with the kits, I'll show you the different cards. Okay, so we also have in there, we need, just as I try and find all the pieces, we need one of these little thin banners as well. And we're going to need, I think, maybe 2 of these. We've got some little tiny pieces here as well. Need baker's twine. Okay, I think we're getting there. It's taken me a few moments though, so thank you for bearing with me. So this is the nice shimmery sort of pearlized paper. So we'll need 2 of these little pieces. What else do we need for this one? I think that might be it. We've also got the embellishments that we need. And let's grab out the dimensionals and the little glue dots as well. Okay, first of all, we do have some stamping that we need to do. So let me just pop this stuff aside. So stamping on these 2 pieces here with the Lost Lagoon. So we do have Merry Christmas first. block. So let's get this onto a block, a different one to what's in the packet. And of course, quickly season your stamp. Rub the stamp on your arm or the back of your hand. All that does, it seasons the stamp and takes the oil off the actual stamp. So I am just going to have my scrap piece of paper. Just give it a run on your scrap piece before you start stamping on your die cut piece. Okay, so with this one, I am going to be stamping it a little higher rather than centering it in the middle of that tag, because then, oh, I really wrecked that. Let's try again. Thank goodness we get a spare. Okay, let's try again and do it the way it should be done. All right, take two. All right, there we go. That one is better. Okay, so we've got Merry Christmas, and then this little tag is going to go across the bottom like that, which is why I did stamp it a little bit higher. So we also need the From Our House to Yours. All right, I'm going to grab another longer block to put this one onto. And I also think what's not helping right now is my ink pad. Like any recently re-inked pad is a little bit juicy. Okay, again, giving that. Okay, I can see. Look at that, like magic. Okay, I can see people's comments on my laptop, which is really nice. Nothing at all is showing up on my phone. That's a bit weird. But hello to Angelica, Mandy and Jenny. Thank you so much for joining me. It's actually nice to see everyone's comments. As I mentioned earlier, I haven't been seeing comments lately, which is a little concern, but got my laptop here, so that seems to be helping a lot. Okay, so now I need to line this up on a teeny tiny strip. So, and I'm going to stamp it off to the right hand side. Let's hope for the best with this one. I'm just going to use my scissors just to flick it off. Hey, that's not too bad. Not quite straight, but that's not bad. I'm going to take that. And also we do have in here a tiny little stamp here that's got a tiny little star on it. So let me get a little block. And show you this tiny little star. Give it a quick season. Oh, how cute is that? And that is going to be stamped in the middle of this little tiny tag. There we go. I think that's it for the stamping. Or maybe not. Maybe we need to stamp stars as well. I think we do. Yes, we do. Okay, so we've got stars and stuff in here. This is a cluster of little stars. Okay, so for anyone wondering, this is the block that you get. So it's a little bit thinner. It's the same size as the D size block, but it is about half the width. So let me show you. This is our standard block. Oops, go that way. So as you can see, it is about half the thickness of our standard block is the ones that you get in the kit, which is really great. So it's very much designed, these kits, for people who may not have a lot of stamping supplies, or if you're traveling, just pop the box in your car. Pair of scissors, maybe bone folder. That is all you're going to need. Okay, again, let's give this a quick test run. Oh, let me just get clean this stamp off because I can see myself making a mess with that. Okay, so my next piece that I need is this piece here. Just going to carefully move these pieces out the way. Got all my bits that I need for this card. And this is going to be stamped, by the look of it, across. I'm going to say it's going to be across the front of the card. Yeah, let's go with that. Okay. Oh, forgot a piece. We need a little house as well for this one. How cute's that? Okay, so I'm going to be stamping very light because this stamp is actually almost collecting the extra ink that you can see there. Okay. So now, normally you'd be using, if you're away, one block. I've got all mine set up with a couple of blocks. I think that is definitely the last of the stamping. Okay, let's put this together. Okay, so I'm going to have the textured side on the outside. If you prefer, have it on the inside. But the texture adds a really nice element to the card. So just use my bone folder. I need to get some of the baker's twine, and it does tell you how much you need. So this tells me I'm going to need 12.7 centimetres of baker's twine. Okay, so that doesn't seem like a lot, but let's go with that. Baker's twine. And if you're away and you're going, I don't have a ruler with me, on the instructions, well, I think I might have been a little bit crooked. It does have a ruler along the edge there. So let me just grab this bit of sticky tape off the edge here if I can get fingernail underneath it. There we go. So again, I'm going to be needing 12.7 centimetres. So we're going to go 12.7 is around about there, which is not a lot. So I'm wondering if they've made a mistake with that measurement. Oh, okay. So the shorter one is for, here, this little tiny tag. I'm going to put this through and tie a bow. See how I go because it's teeny tiny. Oh, there we go. It can be done. Okay. Pull that tight, hopefully without it coming apart too much. So this kit here is probably a little bit more involved than some of the other ones, but there you have your little piece there. Okay, so to wrap around this front piece, I am going to I'm going to actually do mine a little bit differently. I'm going to stick one end at the back because we're not going to actually see the tie. And then I'm going to just wrap this around about there. Another piece of sticky tape and trim it off. There we go. And then you can just manipulate where your thing goes. Okay, I think now we are about ready to put this together. So my first thing I'm putting on is my little house, and then my tag is going to go, I might put the house on after, I might put this on first, and then I can position where my house is going to go. So I need a couple of dimensionals. Okay, so it's nice to have the mini dimensionals because I find sometimes with the kids that the dimensionals are a little bit too big. And I'm going to put one in the middle. The reason I've done it like that is just here. Let me hold that up. There we go. It actually shows you where to put your dimensionals. Okay, it shows you also where to put your little glue dots as well. Okay, so of course, I think there's a dimensional, or I might put some glue dots behind the house. So that is why your instructions sitting next to you do make it handy. And of course, crafting anything that you actually have only seen a picture of can be, I guess, a little bit challenging in that sense. Okay, so that is going over the top of my baker's twine, around about there. And I'm going to be popping some of the glue dots behind my second sentiment. Now, as I mentioned earlier, if you're traveling, pop some extra, pair of scissors, bone folder. I would also pop in there as well to take your pick tool, just so that you've got a chance of lifting up some of these little papers on the glue dots, your embellishments, of course, and also getting the little papers off the back of your dimensionals. Because we have such an awesome tool that makes life really very, very easy for your crafting. Okay, so this is going to go off a little bit to one side. Oh, I don't want to cover the bottom of the Mary too much. Okay, there is that bit. Oh, actually, they have covered the Mary a little bit. Let me just see if, oh, there we go, pry that up just a tiny little bit. Okay, they've actually got it a little higher than what I've done mine. I'm going to do mine level with the bottom. It's open to interpretation. Okay, so my house, I'm going to pop a dimensional just in the middle there. And I've stuck one piece on really very, very crooked. Let's see if I can get this straightened up. Okay, I think that's a little bit better. Now my house is crooked. I'm going to pop a little bit more dimensional underneath my house. So I only want a thin little piece, so I'm actually going to cut up this little edge piece here. All right, get that on the end of my, take your pick tool. And then underneath the top part of my house. Okay, that is better. All right, You can always go back and add extra dimensionals. All right, so my next piece I'm going to put on, I've got my 2 little sprigs, and these have that beautiful shimmer to them. So I'm going to be using 1 glue dot on each of them. And of course you can use the Take Your Pick tool as well to put those underneath. So we're going to have one just underneath here, around about there. And the second one, again, a little glue dot just at the top. So I do apologise, I think tonight's Facebook Live is going to take just a little bit longer than usual. There we go, it's got those on. We've also got 2 of the holly leaves. Again, a glue dot underneath one of them. And as mentioned, Take Your Pick tool makes the job really, really easy to get those little papers up. And a dimensional underneath the second one. Which will go around about there. So as you can see, it's just getting some extra layers in. With some of the other kits I've shared, they're not quite as involved as this one, but it's going to be an absolutely beautiful card. Okay, so also my little tag I've got here that I've already tied my bow on. Dimensional. Stab it in the back of the paper to get that up. And that's going to go around about there. And I also need to get some of these little embellishments. And for this one, I'm going to be using 3 of these little pink ones. There's 1, 2, and oops, get that stuck on there. 3. Oh, need to get my bow out of the way. Okay, how cute is that? Finally, I just need to get this onto my card front, which is this piece here. And we're going to be using some dimensionals. So far so good. So thank you so much for bearing with me and still watching. These cards are really, really quite beautiful. So if you're looking for a really nice kit to make up, so you've got some beautiful Christmas cards to give out, and the pink does give it a beautiful softness. And I know that that's not a traditional Christmas colour, but it does work. Okay, so this will be card number 1 complete. Just get all my bits out of the way. There we go. So how pretty is that? Now, of course, I would probably then go ahead and complete the inside, just because I like to have the insides of my cards finished off as well. So that would be an absolutely beautiful card to receive for Christmas. Card number 1. Right, let's do card number 2. Okay, so I think card number 2 might be opening the other way. It is. Okay, so the pre-folded cards that they have in the kit, okay, they would be that normal half sheet of A4. So they have pre-folded those for us simply so that they fit in the box. So we also need a few extra pieces. We have got a dark and a light flower. How pretty are those? We have got, let me see, we also need some of these as well, just some of Lost Lagoon sprigs. So we need 2 of those. Wonder if they go different ways. They might. Maybe not. Oh, they do. There we go. So one will go one way, one will go the other way. We also need, what else do we need here? A little tag to stamp on. And these really beautiful shimmery looking sprigs as well, or leaves. And oh, still got a little bit more, and one of these as well. So again, thank you everyone for bearing with me. I think this kit is going to be worth the wait to see them all put together. Okay, so first I need to do some stamping, and this is a little bit of background stamping with those little stars and dots that we used on the first card. So just going to use a very gentle hand with this one, just so that I don't transfer that extra bit of ink that you can see there. Probably don't need to go all the way across because it'll be covered, but I just want to make sure that that is looking like that. Okay, so I have some stamping to do on one piece that I've left behind, which is a little die cut, and my stamp set using the Sending Joy stamp. Okay, again, a quick season of the stamp just by rubbing it on my arm. And quick test run. And stamp away. So really pretty font. Look at that. It's beautiful. Okay, so that will go there. So we've got our pieces now. I think we've done our stamping. Maybe we haven't. I think, the bigger star. Okay, so with this little stamp set, I think we'll be using every single stamp that we have in the set. So this is another star. Okay, and it's just a slightly bigger star. Test run, of course, with the stamp. And then into the little bauble there. Okay. I haven't stamped it quite perfectly, but that's okay. All right, so let's get this one together. We do need to wrap some string or some baker's twine around our card. So I'm going to do that, and this will have the join in the middle. So I'm going to do a little bit of sticky tape again. And that's going to go about there. So let's just make sure we're in roughly the right spot. And then I'm just going to wrap it a few times And again, a little bit of sticky tape underneath where that banner will be. Of course, you can measure it as well, but let's live dangerously. Okay, so we've got to do some layering, and my baubles will be sitting underneath the sentiment. Now, I think I'm going to cut corners and not use, maybe I'll use some dimensionals to hold it in place. Just a few, didn't mean to pick up two then, but that's okay. That should hold that in place quite nicely. You could use a glue dot if you wanted to, a little bit of sticky tape. Okay, so that is going to be going on around about there with one of the baubles hanging ever so slightly low. We've got more stamping to do. Hang on, let me grab the extra stamp. Okay, so this has got a little snowflake. Teeny, tiny, tiny little stamp. Get rid of that one. Grab the ink pad. Let's see if I can mess this up. Okay, just give that a quick test. We never know. Oh, not too bad. Probably should have done this before I stuck it down. That's not bad. Okay, so let's get these last few elements down. So we've got our little green sprigs. Oops, going to go that way. So they'll go onto there first. So we're going to use some glue dots. So here in Victoria, of course, it's kind of a long weekend with it being Melbourne Cup today. I'm just wondering if anybody has done any crafting over this long weekend. I'm going to class it as a long weekend. I actually took yesterday off work, so I've actually had a 3.5 day weekend because I usually work Saturday mornings. So I did work on Saturday, but I'm just wondering what people have been up to with crafting, whether you've had a chance, if you've had extra days off work, to do some crafting. Okay, so I've got my little sprigs on there. Next, I'm going to be putting these ones, and I'm going to use, see if I can use the same glue dots for those. So one there and one about there. There we go. You can use the same glue dot if you're careful. My two little flowers, I need to stick those together. So a glue dot in the center. So this is a really great project to use these little glue dots on, and you do get a whole bunch of glue dots that you can use. So layering my two little pink flowers together and glue dots on the back. So I've actually been busy doing quite a bit. I've done all the prep for the card buffet classes, which are Friday night and Saturday. So I still have a couple of spots available for anyone who might be interested in coming. I'm going to pop a dimensional under the top there, I think, just to give that a bit of extra support. So as you can see, if I just pop that in there, that should hold that, there we go, a little bit more securely. I do also need to put some of the little white embellishments on. So again, I'm using 3, and the 3 are going to go in the center of the flower. Okay. Yeah. Oh, that's good to hear, Jenny. I'm glad that you got some things done, because it's always nice to get some crafting done. I think particularly when it's you know, some of your Christmas crafting. I did share a post the other day, which was one that comes from one of the artisan design team members at Stampin' Up, and they did a really beautiful one sheet wonder type thing to create some table pieces for the table. So they were menu holders, they were some name tags and things like that. I did share that one because it just looked really, really beautiful. Okay, I'm not sure if I'm tying a bow with this, but I'm going to go with a little bow if I can tie it with 10 centimetres of baker's twine. Okay, so Mandy's done housewarming card for friends. Oh, lovely. I think they'll really appreciate a beautiful handmade card, Mandy. I think everyone appreciates handmade cards. I think when you go to the effort of making a card for somebody and you've made it specifically for them, I think they absolutely love when you do those sorts of things for them. Okay, that is going to go kind of at the top there. I think I'm going to think about it. I might leave it off because my sentiment is tucked away under there, and I'm actually a little bit worried that you won't see it. Maybe it goes a little bit more. Let's put it up there. Let's do a dimensional. And you can tie a really cute little bow with 10 centimetres of twine. Who knew? Okay, so let's put this on around about there. Mine's probably going to look a bit different to the original card, but that actually doesn't matter. Okay, and finally, this is going to be going onto the card front with some dimensionals. Okay, so as I mentioned, yeah, I've been, got sorted for the classes later this week. So they are all ready to go. As I mentioned, as long as you let me know today, there's still a spot or two left in each class. So, of course, they are from the property that I'm currently living in, which is on Glenview Drive in Traralgon. But everyone who's registered, I will be sending out the reminders with the address as well. So don't worry if you can't remember the new address. I'll send that reminder out. Might just, there we go, move that. Okay, it's a very delicate little bow. Okay, number 2. That's a really cute card too. So there is that. What else would I make this weekend or over the weekend? Free class kits for those who purchased from me last month. They'll be in the mail tomorrow, so I'm excited to get those done because the past few months with sort of everything being so much up in the air, I've been really running behind on those sorts of things, so it's really nice to get it out within my usual time frame. Okay, so card number 3. We've got the card base. Let me just pop a few of these things out the way. We have got some Christmas trees. We've got a bunch of Christmas trees by the look of it. Okay, let's go with the tags first. Okay, so we need a long, thin tag. Okay, so while I'm getting these pieces out, my house is now painted. So the painters came in last week and they have done their bit, which is really lovely. Colour's slightly different to the original colour, which is perfectly fine. So let me see, what do I need for this? I need a big tree. So that we're sort of getting a little step closer. And I've also had the plumber has started their bit of work as well. So they have taken the vanities out and things like that and decommissioned everything ready for the new vanities to be installed, which I'm really hoping that will happen this week. So we're just getting each week just a step closer to getting back home. What else have I missed here? Oh no, we need 5 Christmas trees. What have I got here? I've got 5. I've got 5. That's what we need. Okay. So I need to grab as well. Oh, I'm losing some of my pieces here. Oh, okay. I need a couple of extra trees as well. I need a couple of these by the look of it. They were the ones in the background that I couldn't quite see. Okay, I think that is it. Oh no, I haven't got everything yet. So we've got a little deer. Oh, I nearly tore his little head off. And these little sprigs as well. So as I have said a number of times, when you're pressing these little pieces out, just be really careful. They are delicate. And the little deer almost lost his head. All right, I think that is what I need for this one. Okay, so card base, folding that in half because I do need to do some stamping. Look at all those little tiny pieces there. Okay. It goes that way. Oh, there's one more piece I need as well. I think it is this one. So I'm not sure how well it's going to show up, but there is like a score line about, not quite half a centimetre all the way around to add that nice little bit of detail. So I'm not sure how well that will show up. Okay, I've got some stamping to do. And again, it's using this little background stamp that's got like little stars on it. So yeah, so as far as goes getting back into my house, it's looking fairly positive. We're going to be back in for Christmas, which is going to be really nice. A freshly painted house, a house that has got new carpet. We've got the vanities fixed, which will be really nice. So my vanities will be basically exactly the same as what I had before, which I'm quite happy with because I actually really love the colour tones and everything that I have in my house. I reckon that will do. I also have to do a little stamp on this one, which is just a little star or little snowflake. It's not a star, it's a snowflake. Okay. Little snowflake, and the sentiment, which is all is calm and bright. So we have used, other than a couple of little tiny stamps, all of the stamps in this set. Okay, so just get rid of these other stamps that are sticking on this block. And gosh, need to line it up on this really thin strip. So again, a quick season of my stamp. Have a practice run. Have you ever found that when you have a practice run of your stamp, you do a better job on your scrap paper than what you do on the actual piece? Just curious because asking for a friend. Okay, so sentiment's going to be centered. Oh, hey, that's not too bad. I don't think it's perfectly straight, but again, let's live with that. Okay, so while I've got my sentiment here, I am going to get the little deer that's got a little mark on his neck where he's almost lost his head. I'm going to pop a glue dot straight onto the banner. Which will go around about there. The reason I'm putting on the banner rather than the back of the little deer is that then I know exactly where that little glue dot is, rather than putting the glue dot behind the deer. Then sometimes it doesn't end up quite sort of centered on the banner. The glue dot could be hanging half off. So I don't think I explained that very well. Anyway, glue dot is on my banner, and I just need to pop him over the top. So it does make it a little easier. Okay, so we don't have to worry about wrapping any twine around this one. We do, however, need to start placing our Christmas trees on. So we've got one around about there. I reckon that goes in behind. So I'm just going to place these on to begin with. Just so I can see how they are going to be going on together. And that one, a little bit tricky to pick up. Slide it off. So it's always a really good idea just to position the Christmas trees or the elements you're planning on sticking on, particularly if you're doing clusters, just so that you know where they're going to sit. Okay, so I think my phone has been a little bit crooked the whole time, but I think it's looking okay on the screen so far. Okay, so I'm going to be putting some glue dots behind these little pearlized trees. So I'm just going to slide that one out and a couple of glue dots. And using a combination of glue dots and dimensionals with these cards, it gives you just some different, sort of makes trees look a bit closer to you, or more in the foreground and some in the back. Okay, so I'm just going to pop those aside, and that one is going to go around about there. Okay, my really light blue tree. Again, a couple of these little glue dots. So I think this is the sort of kit, because it's going to take you a little longer to put each of the cards together. This is the sort of kit that you want to use when you're crafting with friends. And even if you get one kit and share it, but how beautiful is this? Okay, I just slide those two off. I do need to put my other, I guess it almost looks like pearlescent sort of paper that we had a number of years ago in one of the catalogues, and the paper was just beautiful to use. Okay, so that one can go about there. A little bit of guesswork with this one. And a couple more glue dots on this other little tree as well. And of course, like with so many of the kits that we have, you could also make these kits into something a little different too. Okay, so I do have 3 more trees to put on, and I'm going to use some dimensionals for these ones. So we've got the taller tree, which I'll probably put about 3 pieces underneath. And I might pop this one on first because then that gives me my center point on the card front. So that can go on round about there. And then I do have my 2 smaller pink Christmas trees, which I'm going to do 2 pieces of the dimensional on. Oops, stuck to my finger. I've got the darker one, which I'm going to just slide in. Ever so slightly underneath. Oops, it's caught. There we go. Underneath that center tree. And I'll do the exact same with the final tree, which will go in on the opposite side. Just gently slide that tree up just a little bit. There we go. It took a little while, but we got there. Okay, so my next bit that I need to do is I'm going to stick, well, this is going to go over the top around about, a little bit higher, about there. Okay, so I'm going to be popping a dimensional each end of the banner. And I'm not going to worry about dimensionals in the middle because I want it to sit nice and flat across these centered Christmas trees. Hi, Gay. Thank you for joining me. Yeah, you have missed a little of it. We're sort of getting towards the end now, but I do recommend sitting down with a couple while you're watching. This one's a little bit longer than what I would normally do. Okay, I do have to put the little white sprigs on, which I'm going to put a couple of glue dots behind this little banner so that I can stick those little sprigs on. Okay, so we'll have one that will go that way. And one that will go the other way. Okay, I'm going to stick this on, and then my little other embellishment that I still need to tie the bow on, I will then stick that on last of all. So that is going to go around about there. And finally, I have just this little bauble, which I need to cut about 12 centimeters off. Okay, so I've just used the ruler on my mat, but as I mentioned earlier, we do also have the ruler across the edge of the instruction sheet. Okay, so just threading the baker's twine through the little hole at the top of the bauble, or the little top of the tag, which looks like a bauble. And tie the bow, which sometimes can be challenging with little pieces of twine. I might just trim those up just a tiny little bit So you have your little decoration there. And stick this on a glue dot. Sorry, a dimensional. Which is going to go around about there. Okay, now this simply needs to be put onto the card front. Oh, I think we've also got some of the little embellishments we need to put on as well, which I haven't done yet. As I mentioned, I'm really loving that we are getting mini glue dots in some of these kits. And you'll have more than enough glue dots and the mini dimensionals to do all of your kits, all of your cards. You'll probably find that you'll have some left over as well. Okay, so this onto the card front, and I've also need to put on 3 of these little white embellishments. One there. One there, and the final one is there. So that is card number 3. So this is the Calm and Bright card kit. Okay, so there's 3 different designs, enough products to make 3 of each. Plus you'll have a couple of spares if you happen to make a mistake stamping on one of your tags. So that is this week's Facebook Live. I have in the description included the code and the price for this kit. So the price for this kit is $46. Beautiful, beautiful kit. I will let everyone know as soon as it's available again because it is currently out of stock. So hopefully it will be coming into stock very, very soon. Oh, Gay just said it's not 8 p.m. where she is yet. Yeah. Thank you, Mandy. They are really quite stunning. They just have a beautiful softness to them for Christmas, and a touch of pink, or the right pinks mixed with the right colours does work beautifully for Christmas. So that's it. That's what I've got for you. Oh, Gay's on holiday in Queensland. Yeah, so you're not on daylight saving. Yeah, so you're an hour behind, but I'll be posting the replay very, very soon. Yeah, definitely very, very cute. Thank you, Angelica. I'm glad you like this kit. Oh, excuse me. It's really is quite beautiful and quite stunning. And of course, please, please, please don't forget that I do have, for this month, I'm doing a giveaway with the kits because it's the time of year to share these kits. Great for gifts, great for really quick card making leading into Christmas to actually give to somebody as a gift. For every kit that you purchase from me, you'll get an entry into the giveaway, which is the Nutcracker Tags kit. Ordered that kit today. Actually ordered 2, one for the giveaway and one to share with you. So I'll be making these as soon as they come. So hopefully next week I'll be sharing this kit with you on Facebook Live. And I'm also going to take some time ahead of time to make these into cards as well. So not just tags, because tags are great, but cards are better. Well, I think they are anyway. I give a lot more cards than what I do use tags. So I think the Nutcrackers, which they kind of freak me out a little bit because the ones that have the jaws that move, I don't do well with those. But these Nutcrackers look really cute. So maybe I'll just have to call them little soldiers instead. So that is it for today. Thank you, Carol. Thank you, Jenny, Angelica, Gay, Mandy. Thank you so much for watching, and anyone else who's watching as well. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. It was a little bit long and drawn out, but I think the wait was worth it when you look at these really beautiful, beautiful Christmas cards. Thanks again, everybody. I look forward to being back with you next Tuesday, 8 o'clock, same time as usual each week, to share, I'm hoping, another kit with you. So until then, everyone take care, and I'll see you all soon.